Sama. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today for our founder, Ikiyami Konko Daijin Sama's monthly service. And yesterday was November 15. It was our religion's birthday. How old is Konkokyo? You know how old Konkokyo is? We just read it in the Rikkyo Shinden. November 15, 1859 was the birthday of Konkokyo. This is when Konkokyo, the founder, was officially going to dedicate his life to serving Tenchikai no Kami-sama. So, just yesterday, Konkokyo just turned 166 years old. Only 166 years old. Very young religion, right? When you think about all the other major religions out there that are thousands of years old. So when religions are thousands of years old, they obviously have to adapt to the modern age. They cannot be keeping those really 2,000-year-old teachings and adapt it into today's society. They have to change. We don't have horses and carriages now. We have cars and aircon and TVs and things. They didn't have that back then. So obviously they have to change. Since we are only 166 years old as a religion, very, very young, we are still in the infancy of the religion's existence. So that means that you and I, everyone who's involved in Konkokyo, we are still the pioneers. We're still the pioneers trying to pave the way through how the future of this faith is going to be like. And so how we practice faith, how we act, how we think, how we talk, how we walk, how we smile, all the things that Fukuda Sensei mentioned in this book will all reflect the faith that we're going to believe in, and it's going to show others an example. We're going to be walking banners of Konkokyo. So if we show bad banners, always trying to pick a fight, always trying to be argumentative, then they'll be like, oh, I don't want to deal with Konkokyo people. So it becomes really important to conduct ourselves in a way that even the founder, Konko Daijin, will be proud of us. And none of this nonsense committing crimes in the name of God kind of thing. We don't do that. We shouldn't be doing that. And it's not reflecting the compassionate heart of Kami-sama at all to do those kind of things, killing people in the name of God. Like, what the heck? Why do we need to do that kind of thing? We don't have to. There are too many religious wars that has happened in the past, and it continues today. Why? The word religion comes from the word religare. It means to put back together again what's once broken. So in this case, it is to restore the broken connection that humanity has with Kami-sama, with God. That's what religion is. But with all like killing going on in the name of God, that's you're totally doing the opposite of what Kami-sama wants us to do. So if religions were doing their jobs properly, there shouldn't be all this fighting and hatred, yet it still continues. Something is missing. True faith is not being practiced. From time to time, we need to be asking ourselves, am I generally a liked person? Or do people tend to avoid me? Do people not like me? And whatever you feel in your heart, if you're generally liked as a person, you must be doing something right. But if you feel like you are generally disliked as a person, it's not the time to be putting yourself down. You don't have to do that. It's the time where we can use to self-reflect. Like, what do I need to do to change? What can we do and make that effort to change? I remember when I was still a rookie working in the hospital, I was like the one that was not liked by a lot of people. Like, I'm the rookie, and all the senpai were like always trying to nitpick you. You're bullying me, and I thought, oh man, I hate coming to work. And going to work was really hard for me. And even when it was lunchtime, lunch breaks, no one would sit next to me. I was sitting alone. And I reflected for a very, very long time, for many years actually. I said, why is so many people avoiding me? Why do people not like me? And the more I asked that question to myself, I began to try to self-reflect. How can I change? How can I change? On the other hand, my brother Rodney Sensei, he's really loved by everybody. So many friends just flock to him. Every time he comes, like 20 or 30 friends just come and just see him. I was like, wow, Rodney, what is he doing different? And he's just, the heart that he radiates, it's just really different from mine. And I kept praying to Kami-sama, let me be a little bit more like Rodney. He's my role model. It's amazing. when even cats and dogs don't like you, it's a sign that we need to change. Cats and dogs can sense our energy. They cannot really understand what we may be saying to them. And you can tell a cat or dog that they are cute, like, oh, you're so cute. But if our heart doesn't think so, they know right away, and the dog is going to bark at your face. So the founder even had his teaching where he says that don't be despised even by cats or dogs. And it's so funny because every time my dad goes out, the cats just scram. They're scared of him. The cats and the chickens are just spam. But when my mom comes out, the cats like, oh, gather to her. They gravitate towards her, They know that they're going to get fed. They know that they're going to be petted. So my dad is like, hey, get out of the way, get out of the way. Chickens, you guys are gross, you poop all over the place. So that energy, the animals can sense. So I told my dad, don't be despised by the cats and the chickens. Be a little bit more nicer. And with all these many religions out there, the world, should be getting only gentler and more better. But people's behavior should only be improving, but we seem to be going backwards, and it shouldn't be like that. So I would like to see this faith be one that can spread across the world and be one that has the power to change people in a good way. And again, since we are still the pioneers of our faith, we will be the ones to pave the way for that to happen. And yes. Yesterday was the 5th Konkokyo International Zoom gathering, and there were about 27 people that attended on Zoom, according to what my mom, she counted. And this time we did something a little bit different, not watch only like YouTube presentations, but we had incorporated a Konkokyo trivia challenge, and Koichi Sensei said some of the questions. We didn't have time to do all of them, but we did some, and I think they're very interesting because I even learned some new things about the founder and his family that I didn't know about. So here are the questions. Was Tenchi Kane no Kami, the god that we believe in, was considered an evil deity? Was Tenchi Kane no Kami considered an evil deity? Raise your hand. Yes or no? Yes. So it's true. Tenchi Kane no Kami original name was Konjin-sama. And Konjin-sama was considered a very fearful deity that punished people all the time. So people always tried to avoid Konjin-sama. They used days and directions, and they studied the astrology and all that, and they were like, oh, on this day, in this direction, Konjin would be here. So do not have any kind of parties or weddings or anything. Or like Konjin resides in this direction, like the northeast direction, so never build your houses in facing that direction or your family's going to face wrath. And they followed this to the teeth. And they even specialized, went to see like the specialist in astrology to just make sure that Konjin wasn't there at that right time. So even Konko Daijin, he was scared of Konjin. So Konjin followed the days and directions to the teeth. Yet still he encountered misfortune after misfortune after misfortune, deaths of his family. And so he, there became a time when he was like, oh, what's going on? I'm trying to follow the directions to the teeth. Why am I still getting punished? And then he finally realized, and then Kyoshine kind of states that all that has been an irreverence actually to Kami-sama, to the deity Konjin-sama. Avoiding him, the very fact of trying to avoid Konjin was the biggest irreverence. So that's why all these bad things happen. And Tenchi Kami was like, I'm not a bad Kami-sama. Why are you labeling me as such? And that's when the founder was like, you're right. Konjin-sama is not an evil deity. If he has the strength to cause all these disasters and punishment, whatever, he must have the power to do really good things too. So the founder was the very first one that went and said, Konjin, you're not a bad Kami. You're actually very good. And really focused that good energy. And that's when things really changed for him and everybody. And that's why we have Konkokyo. Konkokyo is a religion that switched Konjin into not an evil deity, but a benevolent one that loves and nurtures and very compassionate. Number 2, are there any existing photos of our founder, Konko Daijin? Yes or no? True? No. Answer is no. The founder declined any photography of his face and like portraits. He said, no, don't take any pictures of me. And he didn't want to be idolized. He was like, Kami-sama made me an ikigami, and anybody, it's possible for everybody to become an ikigami, just like the founder. So he was special, but he became special, and he wanted everyone to know that, hey, every one of you has the potential to become a living kami-sama, like him. So he didn't want to be idolized in that way. So there are no photos of him. Number 3. Did Konko Daijin do money management? Did he do money management? Yes, true. He didn't only grow rice in his farm. He was a farmer, and I thought he only grew rice, but that wasn't the case. He also grew cotton, which made twice as much money as rice. And he also grew barley, because barley, it's not taxed by the government. So he was really smart, and in that way he managed money, and he became one of the richest people in his town, his village. Number 4. Was Konko Daijin's son Asakichi stronger than a sumo wrestler? Random question now. Was he stronger than a sumo wrestler? Yes? True. Well, he wasn't bigger than a sumo wrestler. Asakichi, by the way, is Konko Daijin's son. So Asakichi, he received the rank of a samurai. And one day when he was traveling with his samurai lord and some sumo wrestlers alongside in a ship, they encountered turbulent waves and harsh weather, and the ship was almost going to capsize. So the strong sumo wrestler, he got a hold of what's that called again? He got a hold of the steering wheel thing. I forgot what I had it here.
Okay.
Yeah, so he didn't have strength to catch the helm. Thank you. That's right. I was asking quickly, what was it again? So helm. It's not a steering wheel. That's a car. But for a ship, it's called a helm. So the sumo wrestler, they're strong, so they thought they could control the helm of the ship to steer it into a safer direction. But even the sumo wrestlers couldn't do that. However, Asakichi, he prayed to Kami-sama Konko Daijin-sama. And after he prayed, a Goshima-shaped cloud appeared above them. And he received the strength to steer the helm into a safe direction. So, seeing that, the samurai lord was so astonished, he was so grateful, that he gifted Asakichi with a crested haori hakama, nice garb, and promoted him. So, in that way, Asakichi was stronger than the sumo wrestler because he utilized the power of Kami-sama. So, when we have difficulty even opening up a jar, I always struggle first. I go, it's so much over this. And then I ask Clayton sometimes, and sometimes Clayton isn't there. And then I remember, I say, oh yeah, I should say Konko-sama. And every time I say Konko-sama when opening the jar, I can open it. I don't know, you should try it. I don't know why this happens, but even Konko Daijin, you need some extra strength. Call Konko Daijin's name. Call Konko-sama. And then you will get the strength. So, every time when I open a jar and no one's there to open it for me, I say Konko-sama, and then it opens. So amazing. You should try it too. Number 5. Did Konko Daijin's family always keep a harmonious relationship? True or false? False. It wasn't like, the family wasn't this angelic, everybody's always doing nice things and everybody's nice to each other. They were just like our family. They had arguments, they laughed, they cried, they had all kinds of emotions. And even one of his sons was a gambler, and the founder had to pay back all the debt that he got from gambling, and that son gave him a headache, yet they still tried to live in harmony, still tried to live in love. Yeah, even his daughter had marital problems. She married a neighbor, and the mother-in-law was so mean to her, so she just returned home, said, no, I can't live with you, and just came back to the household. So, they're just like you and I. They have problems too. Yet, they try to incorporate the faith in their daily life and keep Kami-sama at the center at all times. So that's the big difference. Number 6. How many biological siblings did the founder Konko Daijin have? How many? Anyone want to take a guess? 8. The founder had 8 biological siblings. So you know the founder was adopted, right? He was adopted into the Kawate family. Kawate family. To the Kawate family. From the Kandori family, he was adopted to the Kawate family. And because the Kawate family didn't have kids, so they needed an heir, right? So I don't know if they're the one that asked them for a kid or they said they donated one of their kids to them. But because the founder came from a farming family, having 8 children, that's a lot of kids actually. Because in those days, they practiced infanticide. You know what infanticide is? They killed off their kids. And when there are too many in the family, they couldn't feed all those mouths. So they would drown them. They would throw them into the river. They would place like a wet cloth over their face so they suffocate. They did all kinds of gruesome things to their kids that they didn't want anymore. So it's really sad. But the founders' biological parents were very kind-hearted. And even if they were super, super poor, they couldn't even feed all 8 people. They didn't want to kill off any of them. So I think that kindness and compassion remained. So they gave up one of their children, who happened to be our founder, Konko Daijin. And his name was Genshichi, actually. His original name was Genshichi Kandori. His name changed several times, actually, our founder. And he came into the Kawate family and became part of the family. So yes, they came from a family of 8 siblings. Number 7. Konko Daijin gave his daughter Kono a gift. Youngest daughter a gift. Do you know what kind of gift it was? I'll give you a few choices. Was it a silver ring, a long kimono undergarment, or a white cat? Anyone want to take a guess? The cat? That's what I thought. And it's true because Kono-sama, the founder's youngest daughter, loved cats. But the answer is a silver ring. I didn't know they had jewelry back then, but apparently there was a metalsmith nearby and they used to make silver rings. So the founder made a custom-made ring that said Kono on it and gifted it to his youngest daughter. So interesting, I didn't know that. But a white cat is, she did receive a white kitten by, I'm not sure, for a friend or a neighbor. And so she took really good care of that kitten. And it was a white cat, and she named it Shiro. And one day the cat ate the neighbor's chicken. The neighbor got mad and he was like, hey, you gotta do something about your cat. And so she had to sadly abandon the kitten somewhere, I'm not sure, somewhere far away into the mountains or something. And she was really sad. However, the cat came back and then she was so happy. So that's like one of the side stories. That's not even written in the Gorikai that we learned from the Research Institute. So I just wanted to share that with you. So cute. Number 8. How did the founder describe himself? Number 1, ordinary person. 2, a savior. Number 3, Superman. The founder described himself as an ordinary person. He even told himself, I'm just a manure carrier. And, a regular person being able to reach the status of an ikigami. He truly practiced a true and diligent faith and sincerity. And he wanted to tell everybody else, you can become just like this too. You'll be able to have the strength and be able to communicate with Ichikami-sama with the practice of faith. And now let's see, one last one. Which insect did the founder dislike? Is it a rice weevils, mosquitoes, or a grasshopper? Mosquito, actually. We still don't like mosquitoes in this day and age. No, founder, back then, there was a lot of paddies and water fields, so there was plenty mosquitoes, and people had to sleep in mosquito nets. Can you imagine that? I mean, we don't have to do that. We're so, we live in such luxury. We don't have to worry about that many mosquitoes. Well, the mosquitoes back then were so thick that, it was like a black layer of mosquitoes on the mosquito net. That's how much mosquitoes there were. So the founder was allergic. He developed these big welts when he got bitten, so he didn't like mosquitoes. Anyway, that's the end of the trivia questions. Did we all learn something new? Interesting, yeah? So, I thought that was really interesting. Just want to share that with you. But anyways, yes, yesterday was the 166th birthday of Konkokyo. I pray that the Konko faith can continue on for generations and generations, and even make it past thousands of years, just like the major religions we have today. And for that to be possible, each one of us has to take part in showing ourselves as a good example of the faith that even the founder will be proud of. I got that right on my staff.
Thank you for attending us. I listened to Innocent's message. I remember one episode took the Amagichi while I was Shugyosei. There's a pond in the yard, very expensive cups are kept in the pond. So sometimes cats try to catch it. So Watson said, do something about this cat. I responded, swing shot. It died, actually died. Jumps up, died. It can be cruel, but it depends on the situation. I can believe cats will roam around over here. That's one of the episodes. The reason why the no image the founder was found in today we can find any image. Actually, some image could be found and library, Konko library. Actually, I saw a picture of the image of the founder. It could be a kind of publication, a newspaper. When I went to Field Church last year, I cleaned the whole building, and even in the inside and out. And in the inside out of the whole Hero Church, I found the article of the founder, image of the image, and when he passed away. It looked like a very roundish face, really balloon. I took a picture behind this base. The reason that could be Kamisawa's arrangement. He never tried to keep the image of the founder a human being. Konko Daijin became, it can be Konko Daijin. It can be Konko Daijin is not a human being. It's Kamisawa. Tenji Kaiokami produced. It can be Konko Daijin a God, a come, divine entity. So there shouldn't be any element of humanity and divine coming in the image of Ikiari Konko Daijin. So that could be the reason. I was just thinking, why the no image? If we could find out the image of the founder, oh, this is a Ikiari Konko Daijin. It's a human being. The ability or capacity of the founder Ikiari Konko Daijin could be limited to the image of that. So maybe the Tenchi fellow comes trying to eliminate any trace of human beings. Maybe actually the founder underwent 100 days of spiritual training. Maybe this period comes and trying to get you release or any elements of human. He passed away. He began Ikiari Konko Daijin. He's a kami-sama. He's a God. It's a divine being. So, that's possible. I might respond. And actually, I have been trying to live a Konko believer. Actually, the fourth Konko Sama Kagamita Konko used to say, this is exactly the same word. 学校の先生が、学校の先生が教会に行って指示をする。それで、警察官でも警察が教会に行って指示をする。そこでお店のクランクが来て指示をする。それじゃなし、これは、それはいくらでいいんですよ。それじゃなしに、根本を信じをしたものがラースであり、根本を信じたものがクリスマスであり、根本を信じたものがあるいはサービスマンなるし、それなんだけど、何も違うじゃないかいっていう人もおるけど、やっぱり違う。で、根本ビリーバーファースト。And get engaged in any social activities. So I am convinced only way we can survive in Hawaii is to live a Konko believer. Try to increase the number of people who live in this country. Is my at this point. It's a kind of conclusion. I spent about half century over here. That's what it is. ありがとうございます。
Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Shimi Nagae Kagami Waga Kokoro Inari Mongetsu Konnichi de Konmei Very sincerely to the glory of Mongetsu Kami's blessings being within us to very good and caring in harmony and joy. With God always now and forever comes this the very day pray.
今日で5人かナンバーワン。Page 85, number 8.
85, number 80.
Number 80. Kondo Fujimori. When retiring and handing down the family business or occupation, people may think it's a waste to just retire and relax. So they decide to serve the faith by conveying truthful teachings. If there was such people in each town and village, this faith war would easily spread.
81. Kami-sama's crest is being used on confectionaries for sale. When I think that this faith has spread that much, Kondo-san, I feel glad. Until now, everyone who came had requests, but now there are few requests even when there are hundreds of worshippers. The number of people who come just to worship has increased. When I think of this as an increase of the people who know Tenchikai no Kami's blessedness, Kondo-san, I feel very, very happy.
Masaoka Kinjiro. Number 1, it was on New Year's Day 1882. I went to the Hiromai to give thanks for the curing of my illness. Ikigami Konko Daijin sama said, Kinjiro, you really adore this Hiromai like the way a child adores his parents. You have a sincere heart.
So I went to the Hiromai this year on April 9 and on August 14 to give thanks. Konko-sama imparted, Kinjiro, Kami will double your strength.
Parents should act like parents, and children should act like children. Everything should be what they are.
Endeavor to be honest, polite, and sincere.
Number 2. I was born a feeble child, and had chronic rheumatism since childhood. My worried parents went on a pilgrimage to Kojima 7 or 8 times beside
Beside Kojima.
We visited every shrine and temple. Even after I got married and moved to where I now live, my ailment still wasn't completely cured. In 1876, I heard about the founder and went to the Hiromai to receive his teaching. Quote, this is the year when your life will end, so prepare yourself to follow that way. At that time, I had a daughter too young to know anything. If I had died, it would have adversely affect my faith. So I said, so bad. That will be spared. Konko-sama implied. If your heart doesn't waver, and you pray single-handedly for 3 years, the root of your ailment will be cut out. I then prayed with increasing single-handedness. 2 years and 3 months later, the root of my chronic ailment was cut free.